Have you ever been super hyped for a new book release, but then when you go, all the books have been sold out, and when you check online, it's been marked up 5 times the price? Yeah, it sucks. And it's not just bad luck. This is actually something called scalping, and it's targeted in the book world. Scalping isn't just a problem for concert goers and sneakerheads and anyone under the sun. It is a worldwide problem, and it's coming for the writing industry. In this video, we're going to be talking about why scalping is targeted in books and how this affects authors, publishers, and consumers.
What is a scalper? So first, let's make sure that we're all aligned on what we're talking about. So a scalper isn't just somebody who resells a book they don't want anymore. This is somebody who buys up multiple copies of a book, especially limited edition, signed copies, and or highly anticipated releases of those books, just to resell them at ridiculous markups. So they don't buy these books because they love them, they buy them because they really like dollar signs. So how do scalpers harm readers? Let's start with the most obvious problem. Scalpers are making books inaccessible to people who actually want to read them. So readers who can't afford these marked up prices. So imagine being a huge fan of an author. Let's use Onyx Storm as an example that had been bought out due to that early release and then was sold for a really large price. So let's say that these people, they're a huge fan of this book, and they find out that this book, let's say it's supposed to be $25, is now being resold for $300. I've definitely seen times where there's more, especially oddly enough in the Squishmallow community. I've seen Benny 6-inch for over $500, whereas if you buy him in store, he's less than $25 Canadian. Limited editions are also hoarded, so collectors and true fans, they're not getting the chance to actually buy these books that they want. Instead, bots and bulk buyers are going in and they're grabbing these books first. Scalping also creates FOMO, or fear of missing out pressure. So when these books become artificially rare, fans start to panic buy no matter the price of these because they don't think they'll ever get another chance of getting this book, especially if it's a limited edition like the Target limited edition Onyx Storm. But how do scalpers harm authors? You might be thinking it sucks, right, for readers, but does it actually hurt these authors? And I would say, yeah, definitely it still does. Because when you think about it, authors don't see a cent of these resale profits. So every dollar spent on a scalp book is a dollar the author and publisher will never see. And scalpers manipulate sales numbers. So publishers, what they do is they track book sales to determine future print runs and sequels and author success and all this. And so if the real readers can't buy these books because the scalpers are hoarding the copies, the sales data gets real messed up. And this especially hurts new authors. So if this is somebody's debut novel, it's highly anticipated, and it gets scalped instead of read, publishers might assume that there's no real audience and refuse to publish another book with this author. Because again, they're buying all these books and they're not actually reading them, so although they're being sold, there's no reviews, so it's hard to say, do people actually like this book or not? Scalpers are also harming the publishing industry. So it's not just readers and authors who take the hit. Scalping also damages the entire publishing industry. Firstly, independent bookstores are suffering. So these local shops, they're losing customers because they can't stock these books because scalpers are buying them out. Publishers are also making bad decisions. So if they think that the book isn't selling well because the scalpers are hoarding it or holding on to it, they might not print more, which we kind of spoke about a little bit earlier, but how the data's getting all messed up. And scalping discourages print runs. So if publishers believe that the demand is artificial, they're going to print fewer copies, making future books even harder to get. So it's not just a fan problem, it's an industry-wide problem. The bigger picture, scalpers are preying on fandom culture. Scalpers aren't targeting books by accident. They know that fans are going to pay more because they're desperate. It's the same playbook that's used for sneakers, game consoles, concert tickets, squishmallows, anything you could think of. Scalpers have kind of put their hands into it. And it's because they want to profit off of your passion. And honestly, that's what really frustrates me about this whole thing. So what can we do about scalpers? I would say there's a couple of options. Buy directly from the authors, the publishers, or the indie bookstores. And when it's possible, definitely try to pre-order because scalpers are really relying on these last-minute buyers. So if you lock in your copy early, you have a better chance at that more deluxe version. For example, this is what I did when I did the Onyx Storm midnight release party. So your seat is held, your book is held for you, it's ordered for you, and you're good. You're not going to have to worry about it getting sold to somebody else or them not having stock because it was like a launch party. So definitely consider those. If you're really passionate about it, consider supporting anti-scalper policies. So some publishers are implemented like verified fan sales, and you can help by kind of pushing more for this. I've definitely seen this on like Ticketmaster and stuff now, like really verifying that you're a real person, you're not a bot, you're not a scalper. And also, if you see scalpers, call them out. Like if you see books being resold at ridiculous prices, report them. Don't buy them, and just try educating people as well, because people buy because of emotion. As somebody who works in marketing, I know that very, very well, and creating this FOMO, this fear of missing out, is preying on these people's emotions. So if you see that, kind of take a moment, step back, and think about it. Like, is this worth $500? Probably not. And consider kind of giving this advice to friends and family and people, because it is all just, it's a big, in my opinion, scummy marketing tactic. So in short, at least my opinion for sure, is that books belong with the readers, not the resellers. The scalpers themselves are hurting the very industry that they're exploiting, but being aware of it and kind of honestly fighting back against it and not falling for their tactics is going to help kind of eliminate them in the market. I honestly don't think that it will happen anytime soon, but this is just my opinion on this. Have you ever been affected by book scalpers? Definitely let me know, and let's just make sure books stay accessible for everybody.
Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you learned something new. Remember, scalping is not just for the book industry. There's a bunch of things that scalpers are scalping, but because I make videos about books and writing and stuff, I just felt it was relevant. So really hope you had a good time. If you enjoyed this video, definitely hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell notification. That way you get notified anytime a new video comes out. If you enjoyed this video and you learned something new, definitely hit the like button. And I am also a YouTube partner, woohoo, which basically means you can become a member of the I'm Talking Waffles channel. With your support, I'll be able to fund reading more books / buying more books and going on cool adventures. So if you're interested in that, all the information is in the description, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!